I'd like to look at another one of the modifications that we will find is commonly made to the minor scale. And in order to do this, I have found the most ridiculous musical example I could, which is the Oompa Loompa song from the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You may have seen the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as a kid, and this is not the one with Johnny Depp. This is the old one from the 1970s. So the Oompa Loompas are these helpers at the chocolate factory. Every time they come on screen, they sing this song. If you don't know the song, again, I'll post a link to it down in the description. Listen to it, get to know it before we continue on. So I've made a little arrangement here of the last 5 measures of the song, because that's the part I want to focus in on. So let me just play through this, and then we can talk about it. So this song is written in the key of E minor. And we can go through, just like we did with Pastime Paradise, and we can analyze every single note, or nearly every single note, in relationship to the chords and the scale of E minor. So just for reference, I've written the E minor scale down here at the bottom, and all the chords that we can make in E minor right next to it. So let's go through and do that. So we have a B, which is scale degree 5. Then we have an E, which is scale degree 1, or the tonic. Then a B, which is scale degree 5, a 1, an E, which is scale degree 1, a B, scale degree 5, an A, scale degree 4, a G, scale degree 3, an A, scale degree 4, then a B, scale degree 5, an E, scale degree 1, a B, scale degree 5, an E, scale degree 1, a B, another 5, lots of 5s and 1s here, then down to another 5, and then a B, which is another 5, and then we have 2 notes that are not in the E minor scale. We have a C sharp, and we have a D sharp, and we have a C and a D, but we don't have a C sharp and a D sharp. So I'm going to leave these to one side for the moment. And then we come back to scale degree 1 at the end on the E. All right, now we can do the same thing with the chords, and I'm just going to put a lowercase e down here with the colon just to let us know that we are going to be analyzing these chords in the frame of reference of E minor. So the first chord we have is an E minor chord, which is the 1 chord. Then we have another 1 chord, we have another E minor chord, then we have an A minor chord, which is the 4 chord in the key of E minor. Then we go back to an E minor chord, which is the 1 chord in the key of E minor. Then we have a B major chord, which is not in the key of E minor. We have a B minor chord right down here, but we don't have a B major chord, so I'm going to come back to this. And then our very, very last chord is an E minor chord, another 1 chord. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on in measure 4. And actually, we do have an answer for part of this. We do understand where this B major chord comes in, because we just looked at the harmonic minor scale, or that idea that we can raise the leading tone, raise scale degree 7, make 7 a raised 7th. In this case, the raised 7th would make the D become a D sharp. Just like that. So that would mean that our 5 chord, which is B minor, B, D, F sharp. If we raise the 7th scale degree, we'd raise that D in the middle to a D sharp, and that would become a major 5 chord. That's exactly what we saw in Pastime Paradise. So we can give ourselves a Roman numeral here. We understand what's going on. The composers are changing what would have been a B minor chord into a B major chord to make that 5-to-1, that tonic to dominant, a little bit stronger. And that also tells us what's going on right here. Scale degree 7 is scale degree, the raised 7th, or the sharp 7th scale degree. Just like that. But there's something a little bit problematic that happens, or at least in some musical traditions, a little bit problematic that happens when we have this harmonic minor scale. And that happens between scale degrees 6 and 7. So if we make this modification where we raise the 7th scale degree, we now have what's kind of a funny interval between scale degree 6 and scale degree 7. And that interval is the interval of a second, but it's not a minor second, it's not a major second. It's a second that has 3 half steps, which we know is an augmented second. Augmented second. And the augmented second can sometimes be a little bit of an awkward interval to sing. Let me just play through this melody, these 5 measures of the melody, and let me just imagine that we don't have the C sharp. Let me imagine that we don't have the augmented second there. Or I mean, that we don't have the C sharp, so we have the augmented second going from scale degree 6 to scale degree 7. Here's what it sounds like. Now, I'm not sure that sounds bad. In fact, I kind of like it. But there is a sense in which it is kind of tricky to sing, and that goes back to a lot of sort of the more classical or Western traditions. So one of the things that you'll very often find, and you'll see this a lot, especially in Western classical music, is that in order to avoid having that minor second between scale degree 6 and scale degree 7, you'll find that the 6th scale degree gets modified, gets raised to a sharp, or a raised 6th, a sharp 6th, which in this case would make the C into a C sharp. So we have scale degree 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then raise 6th, raise 7, 8. And that's exactly what happens at the end of the Oompa Loompa song. Instead of going, the composers raised that 6th scale degree so that we didn't have that augmented second between 6 and 7. And you can hear in this context it really works well, and it's probably the better choice. So this scale that results where we have the raised 6th and the raised 7th, this is such a common modification that this was given a name of its own. It's called the melodic minor scale. I'm just going to erase this augmented second so we have room to write this here. The melodic minor scale. Now again, this is not a scale, it's not quite a scale in its own right. It really is more of a flavor or a modification of the natural minor scale. But in a lot of theory books, you'll see this as written as its own scale, called the melodic minor. But however you categorize it, it's good to know about this, because this modification happens all the time. One of the ways that the melodic minor scale is often described is as having a different form going up from going down. And what that would look like is this. So going up, we have the raised 6th and the raised 7th scale degrees. So on the way up, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, raised 6, raised 7th. And then on the way down, we have basically a natural minor scale. So we have, up to the 8th scale degree here. On the way down, we have a regular old scale degree 7 and a regular old unmodified scale degree 6. Then a scale degree 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I just had enough room. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So going up, the melodic minor sounds like this. And then going down, it sounds like this. In reality, though, in actual real music, as I mentioned, even though this is the way it's described in a lot of theory books, in actual music, really the harmonic minor and the melodic minor are just modifications or variations of the natural minor. And most often in actual music, a piece that is in a minor key will often go very fluidly between these three versions, between the version of the minor scale that's the natural minor, the version that has the raised 7th, and the version that has the raised 6th and 7th, depending on what the musical needs of a particular passage or a particular moment in the piece of music are. But that is the basic idea of the melodic minor scale.